Hello guys, nice to see you all again. Today is a different video I haven't made before. I'm actually gonna talk about the history of me as a YouTuber. Oh, how I became a YouTuber. Oh, though it started with, as you see here, Titanic in the background. It all actually had to be said first is that I started drawing the ship, of course, of the James Cameron movie because I was really fascinated by the James Cameron movie. And of course, I started to draw the ship with just pen and paper. And that's where I started. I don't exactly remember which year I started with that, but when I got myself a computer, I started also to draw the ship on MS Paint. Don't exactly remember when I started, but I do remember one thing that I completed a couple of Titanic videos in the late year of 20. What was it? 2025? Wait, no, it was like year 20, yeah, 2020, like not 2025, but 25, 2005. There we go. More like that. The end of the 2005. And like I didn't have any place to actually share the clips, so I just started to draw, making video clips. It only lasted for like a couple of seconds because it took a lot of time to make all this, and I still didn't know how to work with this drawing program, the Paint. I didn't actually know how to use it well. At the same time, I didn't know how to use Windows Movie Maker, but I started to learn while I was drawing and while I was making those videos. So what you're seeing now is like the most first video I uploaded onto YouTube. And that is like 13 years ago on January 2007. And like if you see here, it's like okay, it's like have 50,000 viewers. Okay, never mind that, it's not that big. But what is like the most important thing for people was like, why only 8 seconds? Well, I also ask myself that side question. I don't even know how I did that though. But yeah, I was 15 years old when I made this uh, drawing of the ship. And yeah, it's actually a movable content too, so I'm gonna play it off. So yeah, that was like the first video I created. Um, and then let's go back to my library here. I have a library. So the next day, I posted this video of the ship losing power. That's also from the James Cameron inspired vision. Uh, but this one was even shorter. This one only lasted 3 seconds, and I was like, okay, that's good thing I know. But to when I drew this drawing of the ship on MS Paint, I used a couple of hours. You can also see like I tried to shade the smokestack a little bit. Let's try and zoom in a little bit. Oh, of course myself is in the way, but yeah, I can just do a stretch Eevee. So there's like you can see at least there's like shadows things on the smokestack and some lighting. Um, but it only lasted 3 seconds, and people complained, "Did I just waste 3 seconds of my life watching this?" I wasted 3 seconds of my life watching the ship losing power. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro, that I kind of like wasted your 3 seconds of your life watching this." But in the end, I was like, "Why would you say you wasted 3 seconds of this? Because most likely you have wasted more than 3 seconds on something else rather than on my video." I thought to myself later, but yeah. But it took some time to just create one drawing, and trying to make it movable was really challenging thing. Like this video even lasted only 2 seconds, but I used a lot of time just creating this, even though I have this shading here. But this video is actually moving. This is most likely like, I think it is 20 pictures moving here in this video. But this was made 1 month after the first video I was posted on YouTube. And And like not long after that, I posted a second video of the grand staircase collapsing, and that lasted 30 seconds. So that was like, that's a new record. That wasn't like a new record. That was like one of the most time I've been using on drawing the ship on MS Paint so far. But the real video that I made was actually from 2006. And the reason why I posted those videos first is actually because it is actually because that um, um, I was actually not impressed with my own drawing. So this video here is like combined multiple videos into one for the first time, and trying to make the ship move using only MS Paint, and that still was a huge challenge to me. like why would I even bother doing this? I was still like, why would you do this? Why would you even bother doing this? And honestly, I don't actually know it myself, but yeah, I wouldn't try to do and make a replica of, well, not exactly a replica, but I wanted to make something that James Cameron did, but of course I didn't have the tool, I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't know how to do this and that. So I just created what I could create, and I was using MS Paint. So here we have multiple clips combined into one, and yeah, the longest clip ever so far with that. Uh, but yeah, I combined multiple clips to be a bigger one. So yeah, this was the major first video I made of combining multiple clips. I just called it the Titanic trailer. I didn't even know why I did that because there was no trailer. It was like there was no video, or I wasn't making anything after that. But it came a bigger video later though, and that video is actually the original, one of the first original video I actually made of the ship using MS Paint. And this was one of the videos I was actually posted to a web page, like it was a web page for Norwegian television, and I was in a competition of who made the best video, and my video came on third place, so it was shown to the Norwegian public on the television, which was actually I find it really cool. Um, but they deleted the video afterward, of course, because that program just fell dead, and yeah, that was just a temporarily program for the youth or the youngsters, I think. I'm not sure. So this is the first video I made. I made this video here before everything else you just saw. This is the first video I ever drew, or MS Paint drawing I ever drew. So yeah, you still see some really weird stuff here. Doesn't like this is just horrible in my opinion. And yet it got like 1.3 million viewers. And I posted like on April 19, 2007. It's like almost like a couple of days after the ship went down. I don't know how many years that was after that, but yeah. But yeah, I was like this. It was like I will more um how should I say this? I was really embarrassed of this video actually. I'm still embarrassed by the way because I I do know how to make a better video, but I didn't want to show this to the public. Although I did like that scene though, by the way, because that was a good one. But still, the rest was like, oh, how could you not like see the ship falling down into the sea? Like, no, I didn't know how to make the ship fall down. Otherwise, I would actually have to. I thought I was actually have to delete, draw, redraw, and redraw and redraw. Yeah, but I didn't know how to make the ship move. So I moved the sea instead. So that's why it looks so kind of weird. Yeah, that's me. Didn't even know how to use MS Paint, or didn't even know how to use Windows Movie Maker. So that this is the first time. So you can see like instead of you having those a few seconds of motion. Here you have 2 seconds motion instead of like almost 24 image or drawing in one video, because I didn't even know how to make those pictures show faster on Windows Live Movie Maker. Oh, it was called only Movie Maker that time, not called Live. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't actually know how to make those clips show faster. So it became like that. It became like this. So yeah, but that was like the last video I made a couple of years there. I stopped making Titanic videos after that, but I continue drawing the ship. I started with um, speed paints of the Titanic uh, in a couple of years, and then I tried to redo one more simple animation with some really real movement. And I'm gonna show this to you guys. By the way, be prepared to turn down your volume because this is actually pretty loud. So yeah, prepare yourself to turn down your volume just a little bit. I hope you turn down your volume. So that was the last video I made in late November 2010. So I haven't made any motion videos of the Titanic after this video. This was the last video I ever created, like a moving picture video of the ship sinking. But at this point, I got also, you can see there, it looks more realistic right now. That's because I combined MS Paint with Photoshop, and the Photoshop program was given to me by the school, so I got myself a Photoshop for free for 3 years. And so yeah, the things looks kind of more realistic. I added more light and shadow, and yeah, to me it looks more realistic than I ever did any drawings. Now that was like a really big, that was a big difference between the first one I made. If we can just go to the point where I created a grand staircase. Oops, that was the wrong. So compared to this grand staircase to this grand staircase, there was a huge difference after 4 years. So yeah, I didn't pay attention too much to the ceiling so much. You see, it doesn't completely. It's not a round ceiling, even though this one is like completely round and is made with the Photoshop. Yeah, the Photoshop program. So that was like the last video I ever made on that. So, but I continued drawing the ship, but it became like a more of a rare stuff. It didn't happen so often anymore after this. So like the biggest last speed paint I did was I draw the ship on Photoshop again. And this is still the old Photoshop I was drawing this. And this was in late 2000. No, it was in. I uploaded in May 2018, but I was actually doing this live almost exactly the same time and day when the ship actually went down. On YouTube, I posted a YouTube video of that. So I don't remember how many times. I think I used around 8 hours in total to complete this drawing, and I still needed some help how to do it because even though I know how much the ship looks like, I slowly starting to forget the ship because even though I have seen the movie over like 1,000 times, I still can forget. I still don't always remember everything. So starting now to forget all the details I used to know about the ship. So yeah, but this is like the oldest. No, not the oldest, but the newest biggest, newest drawing I ever made of the ship. Uh, like, I'm not sure if I can beat this record any longer though, but yeah. I did actually get a person who actually wanted me to draw the ship now on computer, and actually a commission. So I'm gonna do that in a couple of days and make a complete, fully drawn drawing of the Titanic using computer, only computer though. So yeah. So this is just a video to show you guys that how I just like how I started my YouTube career as like only painting Titanic, but I wanted to do something else than just only draw Titanic. I want to do something else, show video gameplay, other drawings, my comic, other stuff, funny stuff. Titanic couldn't be like the entire living thing for me though, because I have so much more interested of any other things too. So I couldn't keep up with the expectation from other people. But I still drew the ship because it's a huge part of my life. It sort of like became one of my biggest interests. So I couldn't just ignore that. It's still a big thing to me though. It's still a big thing. I'm still interested in the ship, but not that extremely much as I was when I was younger. But I continue investigating on the ship even today, and I still have interest in the ship. I'm never, most likely, never gonna lose the interest of the ship. But um, I want to do something else too, not only draw the ship over and over again. I'm starting like to lose. Like there is not much, so many places where I can draw the ship without making another remake of something other drawing. I feel like they're already made, so it's difficult to to create something new that has already been done. So this drawing here is most likely the last Titanic drawing of the biggest Titanic drawing I've ever made so far. Um, but I am actually going to have to create a new one soon, so I will show that to you guys when it's done. I think I actually have to do that off stream. I usually stream when I draw right now, but I think I'm gonna do this off stream because I need the concentration. Um, and I probably won't make any progress if I talk or read so much to people in the chat. But yeah, I will have open live streams about that later though too. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to my weird story of how I became a YouTuber. Started with the Titanic. So yeah, have a really nice day, guys. Thank you for watching.